Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of 3 Live Canes here on CanesInSight. As always, I am Chris. The box would not lie to you, neither with that box over there that says Bill or that box way at the bottom. I can't point to it because it's through a bunch of other stuff. But that says Steve-O, here to talk to you guys about the week in Miami Hurricanes football. And yes, it would have been more fun if we were talking about another guy that committed to Miami. It would have been great. We'd cheered. Bill would have ripped his shirt off and done the whole thing. But no, I mean, we're going to get everybody. We're going to get everybody. We got a lot, but we're not going to get everybody. We'll talk about that, DJ Pickett. We'll talk about backup plans at the cornerback position, even though we are still, I mean, very much, in play with a lot of guys, and we have a lot of guys already signed up. And talk about some other stuff, obviously, stuff that's coming ahead. Maybe a little bit of college football 25 discussion. Maybe throw that in there a little bit because it just got released. But that's a lot of time for all that. Before that, Bill, how are you doing today?
Well, not semi-big vibing. I know we just missed out on Pickett, but
moderate vibing.
All will be well in the world. We'll get into it. There's going to be other guys out there, and again, it's July. Yes, you would have liked to, have everybody commit, but that's not realistic. Guys will change their decision. They'll flip. I'm not saying Pickett will be that guy, but that will happen. Definitely in our favor because it does. That's how Mario rolls. So other than that, we good.
Steve, how are you feeling?
I thought it was Oregon the whole time, so I was thinking he was coming. So him going to LSU doesn't really oh my God, kill me because I didn't think he was coming. So I'm vibing, and then. D-Train said is relax we got footage to signing day, so that's what we're gonna do. Recruit him. But I really like where we're at with other corners, as well. So if he wants to be that gem at the end of the class, I mean that's just gonna be the cherry on top. But we gotta get a cornerback that just decommitted from LSU recently that we're hot on the trail, and we're battling Florida State and LSU for that is coming in 3 days, and I'm very excited and anticipating that ceremony, and hopefully the Canes pull through. And then another one in Ben Hanks Jr. At Booker T. Washington, obviously Raw fam who is considering us Florida and a bunch of others, Georgia, stuff like that. Hopefully, we continue to pick up steam with him. Because we get the best best corner in Broward with Ewald, get the best corner in Dade with Ben, and I'm really not tripping. And if we flip Pickett, we flip Pickett.
We'll take it. An interesting back-to-back pair of comments by T. Durden. His most recent comment, which I'm not going to put up, but the one before that, where he was hurrying us along. T was like, "Let's go." Then all of a sudden, he drops the other one. It doesn't really work. I figured he'd be more relaxed than everybody else, but it's all right, T. We're going to kick it right off and get right into the discussion, do all that kind of stuff. And I know that there's another rank these all-time cornerbacks, so we'll do a little bit of that too because I love doing that. Thank you, CF Kane fam. But all this and any other fun stuff we got right here on 3 Live Canes.
This is for the national championship for Nebraska.
He's a stud, that Brown, number 98.
Irvin's got it. Irvin's free.
Slips to the outside, tries to stiff arm, but he couldn't get by Ray Lewis.
Big time players. Step up in big game.
Hard dog. Don't ask me for more. Hell no. Husker up to the races. That's what they needed.
That's Ricks going up for Thorpe, and it's intercepted near midfield. Sean Taylor's got another one.
Who else?
Who else but Sean? Who else but us here on a Wednesday night to talk to you about the Miami Hurricanes football program. Look at that shirt. Oh, Dime Life special there from Steve-O. Take a look at that again, Steve-O.
Yeah, I can't believe the green is not going through the green screen. I forgot to put this nice HD camera up, and it just got the regular camera up. And it's doing just fine. But yeah, no, this is a favorite. It's a little thick, so it's hot. It's a little hot to wear. But it's great inside when the AC on.
Right. I got Bill over there wearing Miami basketball, just pissing Steve-O off. Just he has it on. Steve-O furious.
Melissa somewhere is out there cheering for Bill.
It's extraordinarily hot today. I'm not putting on a quarter zip or a sweatshirt or anything like that.
Yeah, full hot. But I agree. I'm just going to go with a regular T-shirt Miami hoops, though, because, again, to anger Steve-O. That's what we're trying to do here. If DJ Pickett didn't bother him enough, then Bill and I are like jumping on that bandwagon. I'll pissing Steve-O off. But, I mean, DJ Pickett is what it is. And, Steve-O, you mentioned before that you didn't think it was going to be us regardless. You thought maybe an Oregon thing. But it doesn't seem like losing DJ Pickett bothers you very much. Is that – do I take it that's correct, Steve-O?
Not that I'm like, oh, man. Like, obviously I want him. And I still want, hopefully, we continue to recruit him. But, we just have other options that we can't just say no to and wait to try to flip him. Like, no, they're way too good. I mean, Jabari Eaton.
Wait. Hold on. Here we go. Byron Ross. Back in that brings Trump right back.
Yeah, go ahead, family. Hit that Canes Connections promo code
5% to Canes Connection for Hanks and Jabari. Like that's now 15%.
Yeah,
what was it? What was it 10% for last week? Was that for Pickett?
No, I think he dropped 5%. I think he's trying to say he taking a pay cut. They taking a pay cut.
Because what was it? What was the 10% for?
It was for those two.
Was it for those two?
Yeah, it's another offer.
Bill, go check the tape.
We must have picked a bad case, and the dealer, the banker went down the offer or something.
Byron just floated that one to his wife, and she was like, "What did you do?"
Yeah,
what did you do?
Yeah, but it's not that it doesn't bother me. It's just, I love the options we have at cornerback, so I'm not really tripping. Okay. Yeah, well, we get it. So I'm not really tripping because I really just hope, Miami just goes full steam ahead and, picks up those guys. Because I think they're extremely talented. I think the world of Ben obviously plays with Raw. I've seen him, up close and personal, and I've seen him in pads. So I'm definitely intrigued by, him. And I've also seen Anton on the circuit. He looks really, really good. So I'm down for that. And then if they flip Pickett, they flip Pickett. I think Pickett should probably play more safety, but I'm not gonna say he can't play corner because of just how freakishly athletic he is. But I like our options at corner, and if he wants to be the gem in the class and to be that late edition flip, then so be it. If not, we'll hey, we got the best corner in Broward, best corner in Dade, and I don't think you can complain about that.
Real quick before we go to Bill.
So
real quick, Steve, before we go to Bill, why do you think he's better safety than corner potentially?
It doesn't really have much film at outside corner, but I've seen him play in sevens. He could definitely move, bro. It's not like he's a 6'4" guy who's stiff. I'm not going to hate on the kid because he picked him out of school. He definitely could play corner. I just think long term, if he can probably add some good weight to his frame, play safety. If he stays more slim, I could see it. But I don't know. He seems like he would have he has a lot of range, speed, ball skills. He can cover. He can go from off the hash. He plays safety right now in high school, but has a little bit of plays outside, but not really. And a lot of receiver tape. Stupid explosive with the ball in his hands. Just an athlete. So you can see it. Can he play corner? Yeah, I've said it the whole time while you're playing him. Every school's going to tell him he's playing corner. Does he eventually end up at safety? Maybe.
Gotcha. Bill, go ahead. Your thought.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a debate that it's a big L, right? This is a unicorn at a major position of need from the state of Florida. Yes, we do have other options. That's just how it's going to be from now on. Mario's in charge, but this isn't the Diaz Al Golden where we lose a recruit and the question isn't necessarily. It's more of what happened. Why would we lose him? Did we put in the effort? That's not the case, with Mary. We know that him and his staff they did everything they could, and that's not the question. So when you're in these big boy recruiting battles, you're gonna lose some, you're gonna win some. That's just how it is. It's a loss. I'm sure Mario's taking it personally. They're not going to give up. We'll see what happens in December if anything. But overall, just kind of part of the process that you're going to go after 5 stars. You're not going to sign them all. You wish you could, right? But it's just not reality. So loss, yes. Disappointed, yes, but still optimistic about the Canes class.
Yeah, still a lot to go, like a long way to go, especially considering what we've already been able to do. So it's not like we're playing from behind like we have been. We've played from behind over the past couple of years, and we managed to make this thing go and move at a pretty high level. So now we're playing from a decent space right now, and still a lot of guys that can go out there. One Manuel the fifth said, Three Wise Men crew, do you think with their age of NIL could it be where he's getting paid for being committed to LSU, recruit for LSU, and sign with Miami in December if he can have it that way? I mean, there's different rules every other place. Like your next message kind of implied that maybe it's part of the deal. Like, could he commit somewhere, talk about money, get paid a little bit along the way, and then change his mind? I mean, it's pretty crazy to think that kind of stuff doesn't happen regularly. Hey, you commit, you get X, and then just so happens on the day of you go Y. Steve?
I do have a comment though. It's like widely known his mom wanted Oregon. His dad's a huge Canes fan. So if he picked LSU, bro, like maybe that's really where he wanted to go, bro. So I mean, I'm not tripping on it. It sucks. You missed out on a 5-star, defensive back prospect that could be a generational talent out of your state. So yeah, that sucks. You can't ever really spin that. But maybe that's really where he just wanted to go. He had so much things tugging him to these two schools. If he went with LSU, maybe that's just where he wanted to go. So we'll see if that remains true or if that was just a flash in the pan in July, and we'll see how that comes. Towards December. But again, can't pull off the gas on those two other cornerback prospects. And we already have Merritt as well in the class who has position versatility. Could probably play safety here, maybe big nickel. So we move, but yeah, hats off to the kid. Go be great. Hopefully you're being great in a UM uniform. Come December, was it 4th, 7th, whatever it is now that they moved it to a little bit closer. So we'll continue to commit our resources to him, and there's got to be a way he comes to a game. We play USF this year. I doubt he goes to a USF game, so maybe not in this area. But we'll have to try to get him one of the games, maybe like a Florida State game. Hopefully, around that time we'll start seeing these huge. How Mario does these huge visitor lists. So hopefully you just see his name on one of those.
To kind of circle back to the question about. Not specific about Pickett being paid to commit, but we know what happens, right? Look at USC, right? In the beginning of this year, they had all those 5 stars. They had Stubbs committed to, and then it inevitably fell apart. I think, which everyone knew was going to happen, but I think it's pretty obvious. And I'm not saying LSU did that, but certain schools do that to get early commitments, and then they tend to fade as the year progresses, and especially if you don't do as well on the field, like a Florida last year. Look how many guys they lost, at the buzzer or the last couple of weeks of going to signing day. So again, it's NIL. It's the wild west. Stuff's going to happen. But the most you can do is handle your business both at NIL and on the field, and we'll continue to have top 10 classes.
T. Durden says, mark improvement on game day coaching. We could be inside a number 1 class even if we don't win a title. I mean, I think we'll always have the ammo to potentially get up there. It depends on which guys you get. There's another 5-star guy we'll talk about in a minute. But Walter Burke had a question that's related to what we did. Three Wise Men crew. Does Miami have more interest in Fitzgerald at safety now since Pickett chose LSU? Talking about Bryce Fitzgerald from Columbus, one would imagine. Any more looks there, Steve-O? Steve, you're smiling, Steve-O. Is it
I think no matter what you're going after Bryce, I think we're battling floor with him. Obviously, he plays for a very, very good 7-on-7 team. That we just went viral doing a video with this food TikTok kid. It was so funny how to train this little kid. He's a little tubby, but he was about that big justice. Anyways, yeah, Bryce. He's like that. I don't care. Pickett would have committed. I don't think that would ever changed my mind to go after Bryce. Nah, that boy too athletic. He could play corner. He could play nickel. He could play deep safety. He could play receiver for you if no one commits by December, which I think we're going to get some big time receivers. So yeah, no, there's no reason to not go after Bryce.
Thoughts on Bryce?
Regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I think the especially the defensive backboard is going to be fluid. I think some probably, at least one more spot, maybe two, get filled up relatively soon. But again, there's still, the senior tape to go, right? We're going to get into camp, but games are going to be start to play not just at the college level, but the high school level. Considering where, he goes to school, right in Columbus, where, Miami is very, very familiar, or Mario is very, very familiar. They're going to get a look. Then, we'll see what happens, but, definitely on the board, I would think.
And speaking of getting guys on the board, Miami did have a commitment over the past couple of days since we last spoke, and that was receiver Dalan Upshaw from Alabama. Guy coming in, he was at 89, I think, rated on the composite.
He's a 4-star.
4-star, So right away, like your thought, I know it's something we talked about before, but Steve, first off, your thoughts on the player, then we'll get more into the, exactly what it means for the class. But first off, thoughts on Upshaw.
It's perfect for the offense because you think about it, Xavier, Strepo, and Jacoby, I'm going to hype him up because they're from Broward, but they are some of the best receivers after the catch in college football, and the stats match it up and they back it up. It is what it is. It's a fact. Yards after the catch. That's what this system is made for. It's made to space people out. And if you're not the deep guy and you get that football, you got space. Or you get that ball real quick on the screen with the O-lineman getting out. They're way athletic. They're big. They got long strides. They can get out in space and stuff like that. So it's all about yards after the catch in this offense, at least from year one. A lot of the most positive things we've had. So this is Dalan Upshaw is definitely that. He's electric. He's a playmaker. He's jiggy. I like that. He makes a lot of players miss. That's my type of guy. Y'all know that I like guys who have a little bit of wiggle to them, can make D plays. He's strong hands, really good route runner. I love how he manipulates leverage, honestly, when he's running out. So more well-rounded, 5'11". 6 foot. Actually, he's grown, so he's big enough. He can go inside and outside. This is a KB guy. I say it every time. He likes those guys who can go inside, outside, and perform after the catch. Speed, definitely. I love Upshaw. I hate that people are probably gonna be a little negative right now because of the whole Pickett thing. But yeah, like Upshaw's like that. I get it, fans. The whole 10-day of madness. We still have more days to go, and good kids on the board. The Canes are there for, but yep. Try not to look at the chat.
I'm glad I wasn't having to talk during that. Oh, let him go.
Yeah.
Nah, don't let him go.
I just put him in timeout. You never know. I did accidentally hit one of the buttons as I was doing it, but sorry, he had a good little run there. At first, it was really like a jarring move. Anyway, but Bill, thoughts on Upshaw before?
My train of thought is definitely derailed after that sequence, but just to add on to Steve-O's point, he comes from a very, very good program in Alabama, Phoenix City. They have a long history of producing high level D1 guys. What I like about him is he's not going to kind of wow. He's not unathletic, but he's not like some athletic freak running 4.2 whatever. He's back.
It's what's his name? It's what was the guy's name?
Nah, it ain't Johnny Buckets.
Johnny Buckets Revenge.
It ain't Buckets. We know that.
Buckets wouldn't go that route.
He probably would have referenced it. He probably would have referenced it by now, I think.
Nah, he would have just said, ha, ha, ha. Pickett went to went to LSU. I thought he was in Canes lock. That's a Johnny Bucket comment.
Yeah, but Upshaw plays, strong. So you'll see him, break tackles and, run through tackles. So I think he's, a really good fit, in the slot for us. He'll do some work after the catch, and kind of knows how to, find those soft spots in zones. He can create separation in man. So I think he's a well-rounded wide receiver. And he played with Cam Coleman last year, 5-star who went to Auburn, and he still had, I think it was 1,100 or 1,200 yards receiving as a junior, 1,185. So super productive guy. Excited to see what he's going to do this year as the number one option in that offense.
Yeah, and there's obviously still like a good amount of receiving talent on the board. Steve, I mentioned like down the road. Jesus,
It's relentless.
Is
it? Do you have like those names like ready to go, or is he like creating them really quickly?
I mean, that feels like a fresh one. That feels like that just popped into his head as like something. All right, I gotta go one now.
One man, you got a question.
There you go. One Manuel the fifth. There we go. Question. All right, I can't really read it because I keep an eye on there. But Steve Dione says Jojo Trader in training and conditioning programs really made a difference. Chance, can you speak of the impact that turning 18 had?
Well, Jojo and they training with Pete from Tight End U, and he's saucy. He's really good. He's one of the best ones down here. He's from Broward. So y'all know that. What's up? Jojo looks good. They're definitely, attacking the program, but it's good that he was here in spring. So his body's more prepared for it. So instead of getting broken down and built back up from scratch, which happened to him in spring, he's kind of already, ahead of the curve. So now you're starting to see, some of the fruits of that labor and seeing some of the gains of the new offseason conditioning for him. So you're going to hear rave reports about JoJo. He's a 5-star talent. We know that. So I'm completely fine with that. All the smoke coming out about him, the offseason conditioning and the training definitely helps. Chance already looks like a freak. He looked like a freak in high school. I mean, he's just built compact. He's ready to go. It just is what it is. He also trains over there, so it's pretty nice. I love saucy receivers. I love local receivers because you get about who's really working with them. Who they're getting coached by. Chance getting coached by Coach Holt. Somebody you can respect. Somebody who's was Antonio Brown's personal receiver coach coming up. Chad Johnson. Some of these guys are like, I love local receivers. You kind of see like who they work with. You know what I'm saying, like that. So yeah, they definitely working. JoJo included. And he's balling at NCAA. I see a bunch of clips of him.
Now, like on that point, Steve-O, like, obviously you get a guy like Upshaw, a really talented guy, like you said, a 4-star guy. Maybe in lieu of getting another guy, because there's a lot of local talent that's out there. We didn't get some of those local guys. So how does that factor in your mind? Because maybe of comparable talent to an Upshaw, like does it have an effect?
I don't want to compare.
Don't have to compare. Just think, like, does it have an effect, you think, on like future recruiting to go get a guy like Upshaw and not take a guy that's been around the corner and played for like the local teams and all this stuff?
Not really, because like Upshaw is the first receiver commit in the class. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's still time for other receivers to join this class. We're going after Joshua Moore Heavy, still from Florida. That's committed right now to Florida. So like obviously you're like, oh wow, Dallas Wilson's a top target. He's from Tampa. So he's still from Florida. Obviously, he's not from down here, but same thing with DJ Pickett. Everybody was cool with that. So why can't you be cool with that receiver? What I'm saying? Obviously, Vernell Brown, who's going to be committing most likely, everybody says to Florida, but everybody said Oregon for Pickett. So you never really know these things for real. And then everybody has to battle all the way till December. So a lot of the top receivers on the board really aren't from down here. Hopefully they spin the block on one. Obviously, the two that come to mind are Nashawn Montgomery and French. Nashawn Montgomery and Cortez Mills as the guys that are down here that we didn't really hit, or like Kobe Howard, things like that. But you just got to trust the board. French, I guess you could say it's, Jacksonville, still in Florida, but it's far away. But same time, you got to plant the flag up there. We got Drake right there committed. We had Plaz come for there from last year. So it's important. So that even though they're not from South Florida, it might hurt, because you watch these kids growing up. But they're still attacking strategic places in Florida. Jacksonville, you can't say we shouldn't take talent from Jacksonville. You can't say we shouldn't take talent from Tampa. You know what I'm saying? So you got to just go with it. And if a guy from Alabama is who Coach KB wants and circles him, that's just what we're going to do. I mean, you could still potentially get the rest of the guys from in-state. So I'm cool with it. I don't want fans to feel some type of way because he's not from Florida. I really like his game, and I mean I stick by the evaluation. I mean he didn't take not one other visit after he visited Miami. He basically locked it down. So I respect that, and I'm rolling with him.
Fair enough. Bill, you think there's your thoughts on it? Does it bother you, or not bother isn't the right word, but like, do you think maybe I might be missing out in the future? Does it have ramifications? Are you all good with just getting best guys on the boat?
In terms of receiver,
well, specifically not receiver yet.
Yeah, I mean it's you're not going to necessarily land monster classes every single class, ideally, but even just think about if you land French, right? Who apparently we're trending in the right direction for. I think D Money said in the bank or one of his pods that it was looking like Texas just got crystal balled some 5-star wide receiver. So I mean, even if you land French, boom, you have a 5-star wide receiver and a 4-star wide receiver committed, and you have a great class. So it can change very, very quickly. We're still going to recruit some of the guys that have committed elsewhere and see where the chips land. But this whole recruiting thing right now, I think we're sitting at the number 9 class with the 13-5 blue chip ratio, which I know Steve-O is a big fan of. But I think we're way ahead of schedule from what we did last year. But in order to land a top 5 class, you need to have multiple whales. That's how you get up there. I think if we had landed Pickett, I think our class would have went from like 9 to like 4 or something like that. So you got to land those guys to have that top 5 class, and French is out there. So it's good chance we get him, and that changes the narrative just like that.
Right. So obviously opportunity there, but still a guy that everyone's very excited about, and kick off that, put the receiver recruiting in a good spot, and definitely a guy that we're going to want to keep on board for as long as possible. Was Daz the Worsham the last guy from Bama?
No, we got Pruitt last year.
Oh yeah, Pruitt. That's right.
And he's a stud.
Yeah, so keep getting him. I thought it was coming back there about back in the day. Miami wasn't able to pull any air. Go Teeter.
We got Mike Jackson out of Alabama. We've been good out of Alabama.
Mike Jack wasn't he from Tuscaloosa?
Birmingham.
Crazy.
Oh, Birmingham.
All right. Oh, what's his name was from Tuscaloosa, the running back. That's right.
Yeah.
Riley
who flipped, yeah. But yeah, Alabama's been just fine. And he's a baller. I for real, and I'm one of those who cries for us to take more hometown kids. I really am. I have no, especially at receiver, I have no complaints about this commitment. I think it's been out of all the other kind of because we've heated up on some receivers and cooled down, heated up and cooled down. If anything, I respect just the consistency of this relationship. It was always us and Upshaw in Miami, So I just respect it. They just went public with it, part of 10 Days of Madness. So I'm rolling.
Okay. Question here: any chance that Vernell Brown and French are a package? I guess they've been friends for a long time. I mean, it's tough these days. Package deals are tough.
I don't believe in package deals at all unless they're twins. That's the only time you really see it work. And I don't think there's much smoke with French in Florida at all. I think that's just the path for one of them.
Yeah, I was just on French's page, and I know Texas is up there. We're up there, all the big boys, but so Florida is not. You get it. Get the joke. Because they're not good.
Not good. Not very good, which is fantastic. But anyway, so obviously good opportunity for Miami to keep building up there at the receiver spot too. We a lot of talent. I'm looking at Miami right now, and there's also other guys too. Looking into the future, there's other guys that Miami could be turning the page out and go into, not just away from the cornerback spot, the receiver spot. Are there other guys that big time guys across the country, people that you're keeping an eye on, or maybe you heard Miami's trending in the right direction for? Bill, are there other guys that you're looking at right now, sometime in the near future, maybe willing to make a move?
Yeah, I mean, there's some smoke around. I said it right before the show. I say Espinosa, the 5-star defensive lineman out of Iowa or Midwest somewhere. I think someone put in a crystal ball or prediction for him.
It was the Firmster, Gary Firmster.
All right.
who I gotta admit put out LSU for Pickett. So I give him one. I give him that.
Yeah, so I mean that's a good news. I guess there's smoke. It's going to be a battle between us, Iowa, where there's obvious family connections, and then Utah as well with the Samoan connection. So it'll be a battle, but that's someone that I think Miami's been on for a while, and Jason Taylor really wants. And when Jason Taylor really wants someone, we tend to get them. So I'm feeling good about that one.
I mean, hell, you got the Jason Taylor wants him, and the Samoan thing like coming together to be the perfect moment, right? Because we can get Samoans, but a lot of Samoans that we get play linebacker or they play offensive line. This is the perfect defensive line Samoan. We've been waiting for that opportunity, Nick. This is the moment for all of our star staff here to make a play and have something happen here. But Steve-O, your thoughts either on Epinesa or other guys out there that Miami might be looking for?
Yeah, it's always nice to get a crystal ball. It really doesn't matter. But we're recruiting a 5-star defensive end. So I'm excited about that at all times. Obviously, he's an Iowa legacy. Family's a good player. Family's a good player in college already, so he got the blood for it. Big time ranking, big time athlete just in general. So I'm always excited when we go after that. But I'm chilling until I see visits come through, some more smoke coming out, or a commitment date. I'm just content with them working behind the scenes. To get this to happen. Carter, the DT, it was looking great. It ain't looking great no more. That's recruiting in 2024. It is what it is. We've had our fair share of runs and recruits. I think we have some guys we're trending towards. That might be a guy we're trending away from fresh.
You said Carter?
Yeah, and I think he's a dude too. Don't be one of these fans that start discounting and saying this, that. Even though I kind of already did that, but I did it in at least the most respectful way possible, and the logical reason why. But that's tough. I like Carter. I was hype about him. I was like, damn, we can get this dude. he's a baller. I mean, we still can. There's a lot of time for that, but just everything's looking Ohio State's way. But at the same time, everything was Oregon's way today. Like, it was just a refresher. Like, hey, bro, anything can happen, especially with NIL involved. So, never really know.
Yeah, there's a couple things. With Elijah Griffin, I think was the other player that was mentioned, and there's maybe a guy that was
5-star. Yeah, that we're definitely playing the long game with.
I mean, for some of these guys, the guys that don't commit until the very last second, playing that long game, maybe the move. I know. Always go back to Bill's thing, his professional study he did, or whatever that was, about guys that commit now in July and how they stick. So, there'll be some guys out there, guys that can make some moves and see how it goes. Anthony put a comment up. He said, "I'm okay with getting Bryson Hilton at safety. It makes up for not getting DJ. Fine with Hanks and Antoine at corner." I mean, yeah, there's dudes. Especially in the
ecstatic if we can get Hanks and Anton at corner.
Yeah, there's dudes out there. So
yeah, like I already said it, bro. You get the best corner in Broward, get the best corner in Dade. Go out there and get a highly ranked corner. I don't know where he's ranked at in Louisiana, but he's a top dog in Louisiana. Then to come here, you got Merritt, who's again in Alabama. So you're doubling down in Alabama with Upshaw and Merritt, who's also a plus player over there. So. I like the defensive back, the cornerback room coming together, and then the defensive back Hilton Drake Stubbs is a stupid athlete, as well as Amari Wallace. So, yeah, you get the best man coverage corner in Broward County, you get the best man corner in Dade, and then you have the best man nickel in Amari. That's definitely an elite haul at DB. I mean, that is crazy. And Anton comes through with just overall talent. I mean, he's really smooth. He's a really good player. So, I'm telling you right now, that's a DB class you used to pray for. You know what I'm saying? Does it have the 5-star guy? That everybody wants to see a class have? No. But it's straight filled with kids who could actually come in and play? Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of feels like this group, even the group we have already, is about on with like some really good defensive back classes we've had recently, So now it's just keep adding on chips of guys that are high level talent. Like everyone we're talking about is a blue chip dude. Every guy we're talking about is an elite level or a potentially elite level player that we're adding to a mix that everybody's already really excited about too.
Yeah, we went through this situation last year when Carmani went to Colorado and everybody was this and now, and everybody had to be reminded that Damari Brown, was ready to play like right now. Ewald is cut from that same cloth. I'm gonna stand on that to the end of time because I've been saying it already for a long time. So and Ben is cut from that same cloth. That boy's not coming to Ride Pine. Red shirt, ain't no red shirt in me. RIP, but that legendary video, yeah, from what? Nah. Them boys ready to play. So if we can get any of those kids to sign, I'm vibing.
I don't know if I realized Antoine was the 20th. It was only 3 days away.
Yeah, so I was telling you, it's literally 3 days away, and Canes could be trending there. I do think, that would be huge if the Canes pull that off.
Yeah, not a bad deal.
There's no other way to say it. Hey, you lose a guy to LSU, you flip a guy from LSU. Hey, we got our get back. We could spin that online.
Yeah.
So everybody who's out there fighting a good fight in the comments or wherever you fighting it at, or in the group chat, hyping it or spinning it, wherever you're doing it at, we'll say that, hey, we flipped Anton. We made him decommit from LSU, boy.
Yeah.
We bought them.
Right.
We'll say that. It could be true, but we'll say that anyway.
I mean, that's 100%. That's our strategy no matter what. Just take some credit where we can. But another way, a great way that you could take credit for Miami's successes in recruiting. Do you know another great way, Steve-O?
Nah, but that's a good entry. I see you, Chris. That's good. That's good hosting right there, bro. I see you.
So we do. I mean, honestly, what a great job of hosting by me all day. I mean, there's that one dude who wanted to talk about bodily fluids like passionately. I managed to just knock him down like domino after domino. Excellent job by me. And never once blinked, never once got away from the conversation. It was masterful stuff. And now look at this. This thing's floating up there too. Look at that. But anyway, if you do want to be involved and do some positive things for the University of Miami, there you go. Canes Connection. Make a donation. You can become, as Steve-O eloquently once said, the primary recruiter for an elite level talent to the University of Miami. Do you want to donate 10% of your salary? Take that money right out of your family's mouths, like a true hero and gentleman Byron Ross is willing to do. I mean, you could. You don't have to, but you could. Or you just donate a normal number every single month or whatever it is, or just one-time payment. Whatever it is, it helps University of Miami. So why not get involved, right? Why not get involved? There's no downside to it. Oh, wait, hold on. No, we're going to do it right now, CF Kane. I don't want you to miss it. We're going to do it right now, so don't worry. But United is one. There you go, an opportunity to put some money in. Byron Ross having a good time with it, Byron. I really hope we get at least two of those guys, and then we'll bring you on the show, and we'll have a whole nice conversation about it. That's my promise to you. But anyway, so Canes Connection, opportunity for you guys to put some money into the program. Can't hurt. Get involved. But CF Kane fan had this question before. Now we're getting back into that wheelhouse, and eventually we'll do a wide receiver one, Steve. I know. Roscoe, everybody.
Yep.
But right now, Mr. Pickett, he wants to rank these all-time Cane cornerbacks: Starks, Shields, Jennings, Myers, and Tracy Howard. This is an interesting group. I think. Let me start with this: the cornerback position of the history of the Hurricanes. It's a very weird. It's like every other position. You have it goes like this, right? You start rattling off the top 5, and everybody pretty much agrees with the top 5. Cornerback at Miami is a little dicier. Number 1 isn't clear. Number 2 and 3 aren't. It's a little dicier. So I am interested to see where you guys are on this, because some of these guys aren't even in my top 200 of all time Canes, aren't even top 200. So, but I'm going to go to you guys first, and then I'll come with mine. So here, Bill, why don't you go? What do you think?
I don't know a ton about Leonard Myers. That's why I'm struggling. So I'm gonna go Starks, Jennings, Shields, Myers, Howard.
Shields, Myers, Howard. Starks, Jennings, Shields, Myers, Howard. Okay. Steve, what are you thinking? How you feeling?
I don't know if I could pick Shields because most of his success was in the NFL. He played receiver most of his career except for his senior year. And my biggest memory of Shields as a corner wasn't really even a play as corner. He did that long reverse versus Wisconsin where he literally made the U and still smoked everybody. So I don't know if I could put him there, even though I like Shields and I used to think it was cool that he was balling in the NFL. Tracy, they so mismanaged him. Corners. Yeah, my era, we weren't that as strong at the cornerback position, but we had some dogs. Brandon Harris, definitely be one. For me, that I'd pick. Who else? Brandon McGee for sure. That boy a plant legend. Third round pick, baller, but super athlete. Nobody was running past him. Who else? Like that. Corn Elder. That's my dog. I love Corn. That's probably one of the more modern day players that even though like there wasn't a lot of like great stuff going on the field, it was just that first year, Rick, and even before that, everybody could agree Corn Elder was a dog. Who else?
Corn Elder is the only corner that I have from like the 2010s and on. The only corner from that era, like in my top 200 Canes players.
Yeah, and I guess I would have to close it off with Artie. I know mine's a way more recent list. Mike Jack, Bandy. I low key. I've liked I've enjoyed our cornerback play up until like 2019, 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of fell down, but I had no problems with really cornerback play. I wasn't tripping about Artie as a first round pick. Wasn't tripping about Bandy. Wasn't tripping about Mike Jack. Wasn't even tripping about Jamel Dean. I wasn't tripping about D Delaney after Toledo. I wasn't really tripping. I would definitely wasn't tripping about Malik Young. So I've been vibing recently with cornerback play. It's just been less recently, but more recently, nah. But Tyreek brought it back a little bit. Then last year, Daryl and Jaden held it down. So we're getting to that back. But yeah.
All right, so that was a lot. I don't know if did you give at some point in there how you rank those guys?
Nah, that's just the five.
You just want to give me five dudes, just five guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna name you five guys, and those are like my guys from that time frame. Obviously, Antro Roll deserves to be in there, and it's probably towards the top of that
for sure.
But I'm gonna pick the guys I watched growing up. Really, even though I watched Antro Roll, and I watched him in the league, he was lit. And he was crazy. And Manning, you get a pick. He had like 94 speed. He put him at kick return. So, yeah, I'll put that. Yeah, even though I definitely rattled off a bunch of guys at the end just to fit him in. But strong on Brandon McGee for sure. That's one of our strongest ones from Broward down to Miami.
All right, I got Brandon McGee. I like Brandon McGee. Good player. For that group of guys, I would go put it back up. Jennings, first of that group, 6th overall corner in my mind in Canes history. Starks right behind him. Then I go Myers, who had a good career, like a good long career as a Hurricane. After him, I would go Tracy Howard. Sorry, man. I'd go Shields, even for that like short span he had at corner, and Tracy Howard would go last. Sorry, Tracy.
Yeah. So. You wouldn't swap out any of those guys for Brandon Harris?
Now, what would I do if I was just taking guys out, putting guys in? I'll give you my top group because I just have it at the ready. I have roll number 1, Ryan McNeil 2, Ronnie Lippett 3, P Buck, Phil Buchanan 4, Mike Rump 5, Kelly and Dwayne 6 and 7, Tolbert Bain 8, Brandon Harris 9, and Earl Little 10.
Okay, Brandon made top 10.
Yeah, I really like Brandon Harris. Like he's one of my like underrated, like really, really good. Like there's never been a game I went back and watched with Brandon Harris in it that wasn't like Brandon Harris was one of the best players on the field.
Yeah.
Like from the time he first got a starting job, he was one of the best players. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like automatic, instantly one of the best.
I like that. It's just like a random group instead of just doing like naming the top 5 guys like that.
I
makes it
agree.
better.
I agree. It just makes
That's
you
always my vibe. I always be looking for those type of low key Canes, and because that's my era. So people always, not to say that they always talk about the same names. You like to keep those names alive. They're legends. But I do think that people overlook Canes that were doing a thing just because the overall success of the team wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are the guys I grew up cheering for, so I appreciate that. They be balling.
That's a good point. Like a lot of those 2010 guys, like he mentioned receivers, like he's gonna do if he does receivers next week. Like think of all the really, really good receivers we had in 2010s.
Bro, like Hank, Rashawn Scotts, the Herb Waters, guys that came in, made big plays. Philip Dorsett, Stacy Coley, Amon, like
Alan Hearns, like
Hearns, Barrios. I mean, we've had studs, throughout that time frame. It's just the fact that the winning wasn't, there. We had Njoku, we've had studs really catching the football for us. Clyde Walford, another, draft pick, Herndon, another draft pick at tight end. So we've had pass catchers and elite weapons. So they get a little bit underrated, even at DB, just everybody, because of the overall success of the team. So people are already going to, not just because I hate to say it like that, but they're going to ride the 01 players and that era at least more because the winning was there. So that for sure helps. But it's just like, some of these guys, bro, y'all not giving them enough credit, man. Like Sean Spence, some of these guys that were here that were just stupid good players. Just the success wasn't there all around them.
Yeah. Like if you're putting together like era by era, like defensive backfield, like would you, I go Sean and I go Ed, I go Blades and I go all these guys, right? But if you told me that you have Rayshawn Jenkins and Deion Bush as your safeties, which guys that overlapped. If you had those two guys as your safeties, I mean, I'd be thrilled with that. If you just said, hey, your safeties right now for Miami are Deion Bush and Rayshawn Jenkins. Like, good. Let's go.
Let's roll. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, with Corn, Benny, and Mike Jack at corner, you're like, oh, let's do it. There's been some dudes throughout the year. It's just, fans are fans, but I always like to mention those type of players, and I've never been a type of guy to look at a guy's stats and look at a guy's thing and think, oh my God, he has to be better. When I've watched a player live and I experienced that feeling, I don't ever discount that. I respect that, and like obviously the 01 guys, I watched growing up. I was 6 years old. I watched those guys. I've watched them in the pros, and a lot of those guys, are the Roscoe area, those guys, but. I respect, the ones that, I watched after. And, everybody hated the move to Hard Rock or it was Joe Robbie at the time. And so there was just a lot of negative things around that time. People didn't like going to the stadium. That's not the Orange Bowl. The last game of the Orange Bowl, we lost 48-zip to Virginia, where people were sawing off seats. It was crazy.
Were you there, Steve-O?
Yeah, I was there.
What? I mean, people are sawing off seats. Let's go back to that for a second.
How do you get a saw?
Would they have a legit saw?
Nah, not a legit saw. Like people are just ripping everything apart, trying to take a piece of the stadium. I mean, it was crazy. I was surprised it didn't crumble when we were going down.
Did you get anything?
I had something. I forgot what it was. I had like a piece of something. Everybody was like, "Yeah, you got that," and I was like, "Yeah." And then I realized it ain't really a big deal at all.
They got to fix up the stadium after it was bull rush for the Copa America final.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. What the hell happened, Steve?
Yo, guys, one of my friend's pictures went viral because he took a picture. Bro, they destroyed the escalator. They were climbing through AC vents. Like that was crazy. They had to shut down. The event was delayed. The game was delayed an hour and a half because they had to sweep the perimeter, sweep the stadium. That was crazy. I'd never want no damn Spanish soccer game. And like everybody can say what they want about our own stadium, man. Hard Rock is our stadium, bro. Like, do not go over there and start ruining like all our shit, bro. Like, I'm sorry, bro. The escalators to the club level, escalators to 300, like, bro, they just ruining everything, bro. Like, come on, dog. We got Canes Fest coming up. Like, fans gonna need them escalators and stuff like that. Like, bro, get out of here with that. Climbing over the ticket booth, like, bro, y'all tripping over some soccer. It's a filler sport, bro. Like, I'm sorry, dog. Like, and I get it. That's my opinion versus the world, but like, dog, I'm sorry, dog. Like, you ain't never seen nobody climbing over for a Super Bowl, bro. This Hard Rock, they host everything, bro. This not even the World Cup, bro.
That's got to be a banner. That's got to be a banner.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a banner. I'll make it.
He says soccer is glorified jogging.
Nah. I respect soccer. I respect the athletes. I couldn't do that for 90 minutes. They take a lot of breaks because they cry a lot. But like, nah, bro. Come on, dog. It's a filler sport, bro. Like, as a fan, dog, like, we're all here. Everybody in this chat feel the same way. Like, nobody's watching soccer live. Like, Inter Miami, three live goalies. Like, nobody's watching 3 live goalies right now. 3 live strikers, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's just not happening.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we got to do an episode of the show, 3 live strikers. I think that sounds pretty. That sounds pretty good.
I like how once every 3 months we could just find a random topic that just Steve was pissed about.
Super fired up about. It's that's my favorite part of the show when we hit on something that Steve-O is like deeply passionate about.
Nah, they destroyed the stadium, bro. It's crazy. Like, it's just crazy, bro. Like, dog, and it's so you could just
over what, Steve-O? Over what? Like, destroy the stadium over what? Like
not even just that, but like, you see them all jumping and climbing over, and it's just like the attire. I'm dying, bro. Straight Puma satchels. Like, if they would have went through line, then they would have had to go through the bag line, get their bag checked. Like, I was dying. Oh man, like, I don't know, bro. To each their own, but that's just crazy. I can't believe they rushed security, like, bro, like. No, it was like a horde of zombies just coming in Hard Rock.
I liked how the people like went crazy to get in, like they went like wild with the stadium, just to be like way up at the very top, sitting on the stairs of like the 89,000th row, like touching
There was no seats for them, but the best thing about Hard Rock is there's so much levels with corner bars and stuff like that. You don't have to have a ticket. You can sit there in the bars. They got so much things. That's the great thing when people come about our attendance, because they're looking at, oh, there's 10,000 people chilling right now in AC, like on their third Molly, not caring what. Maybe I should have said that, but like, what I'm saying, like, those people do not care about the game, but they got a ticket. Like, I be seeing them people spaced out, dog. Anytime you go to like that second floor, that to get those Dippin' Dots, like where they got the Benihanas down there, it's like a whole new world down there. But you be seeing them boys spaced out.
There's a Benihana in there.
Yeah, bro. There's a Benihana in Hard Rock. That's what I'm saying. When people be like, "Oh man."
How is it set up? Is it set up so you could see like past the chef, like to the field? Because that's like a time-consuming like endeavor to go to Benihana.
The line booming. The Dippin' Dots is relatively close, so I've had reconnaissance on the Benihana. It looked like Benihana. It just looked like a Benihana. You can see, that they whipping it up.
Steve-O, if we come down for a game, can we treat you to a meal at Benihana during the game?
I definitely pick something else before I pick that type of food.
But it's a classy establishment. I figured like we will class it up a little bit.
You can give me some cookies and cream, or like or some chicken tenders. I'm vibing with that.
Do you actually like hibachi?
Yeah, I like hibachi. Yeah, I love Chinese. I love the vibes, but I'm just not going to eat that at a
Do you catch
game.
like the shrimp when they throw it in your mouth?
No, that's taking it way too far. But I appreciate the volcano. No, there's no Diddy over here, buddy.
Steve-O, what's better, Chinese chicken fried rice or Japanese chicken fried rice?
I cannot tell you the difference. I call it Asian rice, bro. There ain't no need to be discriminate. Like they both special in their own way. They special fried rice. I couldn't tell you.
Let me answer it real quick. Japanese fried rice. Japanese fried rice is better because it's more of the hibachi style fried rice than the pure, like a regular fried. So
Sounds very like subjective or objective.
it was a little bit subjective.
It sounds very like opinionated, like not verified.
Very fair point, Steve. Very fair point. Oh, anyway. Have you heard about like what are they already working on fixing things down there, Steve, at the stadium?
They probably are, but no, I'm just making a big deal about it. They'll probably they'll have that thing fixed and stuff.
I mean, you got to imagine that is a really bad sign when like the World Cup is coming in what? Like,
or it may be eye opener for them to take way bigger precautions. I mean, there needs to be checkpoints. They need to. I don't know what they're gonna do. That's their job. I'm not gonna figure it out for them, and it's in Dade. So it's definitely their problem. This was that dry pink stadium. I'm writing letters, but no, they definitely just need to definitely man the perimeter and not let the people in that don't have the tickets. And because if you let them in the gates in the parking lot, then that's how they get to the front gate. I mean, there's no stopping them once they're once they're in those gates. So. If they're not going to act in orderly fashion, then they're just going to have to secure the perimeter. I don't know. But please don't tear the stadium down. I mean, they're crawling through AC vents. Like, Jesus.
I forget who was talking about it, but it was like it was Copa's fault, right? Because when the Super Bowl is there, the NFL sets it up so you can't drive near the stadium unless you have your tickets. Like, you have to get your ticket scanned at multiple points. But for like if it's like a regular like Hurricanes game or a Dolphins game, whatever, then you just you have your parking pass, whatever. But for like a major event, they don't let you anywhere near the stadium. But Copa was like, it's fine, like whatever, like they can tailgate. Yeah, that did not go well, as you guys can see. So, on the bright side, I think was the World Cup final at MetLife, Bill, or is it like one of the semifinals or something?
I think the final is MetLife.
Let's hope that they just destroy that horrible stadium and then make them build a new one because MetLife is.
Wait, they're playing at MetLife?
Yeah,
World Cup finals at MetLife.
How? Every soccer player, or they have to remove the turf. There's no way they're playing on that field.
Yeah, they're putting grass in just for the World Cup, and they're going to get rid of it and put the turf back.
I was about to say there is no way humanly possible that soccer players are going to play a game of like soccer on turf.
Be like an attack on soccer players all over the world, just trying to take out ACLs and Achilles tendons.
Maybe just that they have to slide so much, like the turf burn would be stupid.
Yeah, true.
Dallas and Atlanta have the semifinals.
Both stadiums with turf that are going to have to take their turf out.
Everybody is. Everyone that wanted a stadium is going to have to do the same thing. Everyone that wanted to get in there has got to do the same. They won't send them anywhere with turf. So. But anyway, that'll be a discussion for down the road on 3 Live Strikers. We'll get into that. Have a little soccer chat. I don't know what they talk about. Well, it's football. It's football, but it's football-ish, kind of.
Yes.
Why? That's what it's called. Anyway, but let's enough nonsense here, Bill, and let's give some final thoughts for the people. Let's go ahead, Bill. What do you got?
Well, the thoughts is like I'm kind of in the mood for hibachi right now.
Yeah, honestly. That old conversation.
Little fried rice, little sake, little volcano, the little trick with the egg, throwing it in his hat.
You ever have sake, Steve-O?
I'm not a drinker. I don't drink really at all.
Not to set you off even further, but they'll squirt it into your mouth.
The guy, we bring the guy back. Well, unban that guy. I'll unban that guy, Bill. He's probably having a field day with that.
I don't know how else to describe how they get it into your mouth.
Nah, bro, I'm sorry. That does not look like a drink or sound like a drink.
Steve-O, I'm not gonna lie to you, Steve-O, that's never happened when I went to like a Benihana. So I don't know which ones Bill's going to, but
Yeah, I watch plenty of anime, and I've never seen that occur.
Anyway, so that was it, Bill. Bro.
That's it.
All right, good. Steve-O, final thoughts for the people.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be down about the Pickett announcement. So it is what it is, Canes family. It's a long time till July. Until it's July. It's a long time till December. And then we got big fish on the board. There's just too much big fish out there to be, looking at the one that didn't swim your way or you didn't catch in the bucket. So let's so yeah, it's just keep your head up, Canes family. I'll shout out to Dalan Upshaw. Don't undersell that commitment, man. Let's ride. I think next week, where's the calendar add to? Yeah, it's looking good. By next week, we might have another commitment.
Hey, we'll see. 3 days away from a big one. See how that goes, and then just build and build and build and see where it goes from there. But anyway, that'll do it for us. Thank you guys for coming out on a Wednesday to watch the show with us and spend a little time talking about Miami Hurricanes football. And obviously, like Steve said, some people a little bit down, but a lot of positivity, a lot of good stuff, coming our way here in the coming weeks and then months, and then we'll see what happens when we get to the start of the season. Bill, Steve, you didn't get ESPN or College Football 25 yet, right?
Nah, I've been having issues and stuff with the Xbox, so I literally had just fixed it. So I didn't do the I got the regular edition just ready to go on Friday, like everybody else.
All right, yeah, us too. We're in the same boat, which means that from Friday to Wednesday, Bill will probably complete a 60-year dynasty because that's what he does. You ever complete a 60-year dynasty, Steve-O?
I don't. I only play Road to Glory, really, or I play people play straight up. I don't ever really use the dynasty mode. Everybody want to do it because everybody do the Madden dynasties and they can play together and you go against each other. Like, bro, I'm sorry, bro. Do you want to line it up? Like, do you want to line it up? Like, that's what I play for.
All right. Well, we're gonna hear Bill's progress on his 60-year dynasty. We're gonna see how Steve-O is beating 12-year-old.
Whoa. Chill, fam. Chill.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about him saying I would love to get Vernell Roscoe Paris 3.0?
3.0, not even
because
2.0.
Because to Steve-O, Roscoe Paris 2.0 was Santana Moss. So it doesn't make sense for a lot of reasons, Steve-O. Just let it go. It's funny. But anyway, so we'll get Steve-O beating on 12-year-olds in college football game. We'll get all that fun stuff. And eventually we'll set up the huge matchup of Bill versus Steve-O on live stream, or at least pre-recorded. And then we'll cut out all the profanity and derogatory statements about Bill and Bill's family because we don't want to have any of that in there. None of that. That'll be on one of the upcoming episodes as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Thank you guys for joining us. Bill.
Yeah, I've heard great things. I've always been super excited. I don't want to put the expectations on him, but I'm quietly excited for him. He's locking. They don't have Daryl Porter right now in NCAA. They're still adding players in. So right now, Stafford's the ball hawk for the Canes. My brother got it on the PS5 already, so even though I don't have it on Xbox, I've already got my hands on it. At his crib. So yeah, he's going stupid right now. He's going stupid right now in NCAA. So I hope that success carries over.
I think we should have people put money on it that gets donated to Canes Connection. How about that? We'll get from both sides, and we'll be like, this person put this on Steve, this person put this on Bill, and just go right down the line. And if I had to guess, a lot of money's going to be on Steve-O. If I had to guess, because Steve-O just feels like he has that confidence and swagger about him. But look at Bill. But look at Bill's dorky self. Look at that backwards hat. He wears that when he's playing the game because he feels every bit of that. Like he has a clipboard, a whistle with him, the whole thing. So
defensive coordinator outfit.
He's got to be ready to roll. But yeah, I think that's a great idea. We'll get that going.
But look like coach for Team USA or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's the DC outfit today.
All right. So for these guys, we appreciate you guys watching this for Bill and Steve-O. I have been Chris. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the week. We'll see you next Wednesday here on 3 Live Canes.
This is for the national championship for Nebraska.
He's a stud, that Brown, number 98.
Irvin's got it. Irvin's free. Slips to the outside, tries to stiff arm, but he couldn't get by Ray Lewis.
Big time players. Step up in big game.
Hard dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no. Husker up to the races. That's what they needed.
That's Ricks going up for Thorpe, and it's intercepted near